Good morning, everybody. Um, Today's my Saturday, which is actually Thursday, and I'm getting up early. I got a busy day ahead, so I'm gonna make me breakfast. I'm gonna make some migas, and I know I gotta go to the tortilla factory to get some new tortillas. So I got the old tortillas I have here. I'm gonna cut these up to make migas. Okay, and I'm gonna use some of the chorizo. This is deer chorizo with the pork, like a 50-50 mix, and that I made this last season. So I'm gonna use that, but I'm also gonna use a little bit of this pork, which is a cheap one you get at the store. It's really greasy. I don't really know what's in it, but when you cook it up, it just turns into nothing but grease. So I don't really use this by itself. I'm just using this as grease. Usually I put olive oil in here. When I start to cook it, it needs oil, so I put a little bit of olive oil. It's real lean, and but it's got basically the same seasonings. And of course, I'm going to use refried beans that we already had in the freezer, and eggs and the onions. I'm going to get everything cut up. I'm going to start shredding my tortillas with scissors in long strips, and we'll pick it back up once I get everything processed to get the chorizo cooking in the pan, and then have the tortillas cut up. I'm going to use a purple onion. It was already in the refrigerator. Of course, I'm going to put the butt in the garden this morning in my onion patch, and we'll pick it up from there. We don't need that much seasoning because I'm gonna use my sauce at the end, and probably maybe just a little salt to taste. But there's a lot of seasoning in the chorizo already, and basically I'll show you the process once we get started. Okay, I got my onions cut up. I decided to add a jalapeno, but I took the seeds out because I don't want it too hot, because I don't know who else is gonna eat. But usually I'm just making it for myself. It's kind of early in the morning. Everybody's still asleep. I got my beans right here ready to go. Those are beans we made a while back. They've been in the refrigerator. I'm going to incorporate that into the meal. And right here I have my migas cooking. Okay, once they're flipped and brown pretty good and crispy, I'm going to put them on this cardboard. I learned using a cardboard is really good because it absorbs a lot of the grease. I learned that at a fish fry once. I do that for my fish fries or any kind of something you fry that needs to be absorbed. Instead of paper towels, going through a lot of paper towels, you know how expensive they are. I save a good clean cardboard, and it works just as good, even better, when you fish fry. It absorbs. You'll see that in a minute after the process has already started. Okay, get back with you in a minute. Okay, we got the migas tortilla chips already toasted up. As you can see, they're right here, and I'm letting the oil cool down. I'm gonna replenish that. We're gonna put it into an oil thing, clean it out, and reuse that again because it's still good. And then we made those styles out of that last time. But we got the chips right now cooling down, and some are mostly crispy, but they're not completely burned. You got to be on top of that, flipping them and taking them out as it's done. And now we're gonna get back to the chorizo, and I'll come back to y'all. Okay, here we go. I've already added the deer chorizo in here, and as you can see, it doesn't release a lot of oil like the regular packaged chorizo. It's a little cut. I cut it by hand, so I leave it kind of chunky. I run some of it through the processor, but it's got pieces of brisket tallow, brisket fat from brisket shavings from some of the briskets. I always save the fat to make burgers and stuff, and add them straight to the deer meat. So we have this cooking down pretty good. We're about to add the jalapenos and the onions once this cooks down a little bit more. Okay, here we are. I got the chorizo in the consistency that I like. So I'm about to add the onions and the jalapenos. Stir these in, brown them pretty good, and I'll come back to you when we start to toast up, when we add the tortilla chips again, and then the eggs. Okay, we got this seared pretty good. Now, I'm going to make migas, but let me tell you what you have here. You can easily put raw shrimp and stir that up in there, and then put some quesadilla cheese on top, and have an excellent queso flameado. Or you can do other things with it. You can make taquitos out of that with just egg, but I'm going to make migas. That's what I want to eat this morning, so that's what I'm doing. So now I'm going to add the tostitos that I just made earlier. I'm not going to use them all. Save some for in case somebody else wants to make some chorizo fresh. One thing about chorizo, Gotta be fresh. Chorizo and migas. So now I'm gonna stir my tortillas into the mixture here. Get the tortillas nice and coated with the chorizo. And it looks like I might have to add a little bit more oil. If I do, I'm either gonna put olive oil or coconut oil. So when I get my eggs in there. So I'll show you once I get my eggs in there. There's a certain way I like to do my eggs, but we'll come back to that. Alright, it's time to add the eggs. What I like to do is put one egg in here and stir this one up. Okay, I'm gonna stir this one up all in it real good, nice and happy, and the eggs look very happy now. And what I like to do is kind of gather everything up together like this and make a little pocket here, make another little pocket here. And what I like to do is put one egg with the sunny side on there, and then what I'm going to do is cover it up. I like to leave it like that. A little shell down here, can't have that. I throw my shells in the garden too, so I'm going to go off to the side. I like to leave it just like that. I'm going to cover it up and let it cook, finish cooking off like that. Yeah, right before I cover it up, I like to just spread it out around, leave the yolk intact. That's what I like. I like the yolk intact. You could mix it all in, make it completely scrambled like I did the first egg. That's completely up to you, to your migas. But this is what I got. So there we go. Kind of, I don't like to, I like I like my eggs to be runny a little bit, so I like the yolk. So I kind of have it like that. Now it's time to cover it up, turn it real low, and let it finish it out. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. Let's see how we're doing here. Looking pretty good. Needs a little bit more. I got it very low. So what I'm going to do now for the final touch is curl up that egg yolk and knock it out. There we go. Oh, that's a really happy dish right there, boy. Let me tell you. Cover it up for a couple more minutes on very low. And meanwhile, I'll get some coffee going and complete my breakfast. All right, my breakfast is plated, and we got one more for whoever wants to eat. It's still kind of early. Nobody's really active except for me. But here we go. I topped everything off with some queso fresco, and I got a little bit of tomatoes and onions on garnish on the side, fresh. And sure, I'm good to go, man. My coffee's about ready, and man, y'all have a good breakfast and good morning, because I am. See you on the next episode.